Hi guys, it's Jackie here back at Elf Books, and today as promised I am doing a Kobo Libra Colour 2 review. And just like I mentioned in my last video where we set up my bookshelves here, you're gonna hear some clickety clackety. You might hear it right now. I'm sure my mic is picking it up. I've got two dogs in here and hardwood floors, and I'm just letting them live their lives, and so if you hear them walking around, that's all that weird noise is. I'm sorry if it's distracting. I also just want to say that the lighting in here is not good today. It looks like nighttime. It's a super dark rainy day, so I'm just doing my best with my lighting. So if it's a little bit dark and yellow, I'm sorry about that. And before we kick things off, I did say I wanted to be posting a bookish video once a month, so that is still my goal right now. I hope you enjoy it. We are going to dig into my Kobo Libra Colour. It is in its case right now. I'm going to explain how I like the Kobo, what I'm reading on it, what I'm planning to read on it, what I'm using it for, and then I'm going to dive into some of its features, and we'll do a general like interface tour so you can see. There's quite a few videos on this device out there right now, so thank you for choosing this one. And I've been planning this video for a while. I've been working on it for a while. Yeah, I'm just excited to dive into this. So I got the Kobo Libra Colour in July this year. I believe it came out earlier in the year. It is a full color e-reader. It is boasting itself as the first full color e-reader along with the Kobo Clara, which is kind of a more basic version of this one, just straight for reading right on it, which is also another fantastic option at a bit of a cheaper price point than this one. I believe, well, I'm loving my Kobo Libra Colour. I'm doing like all my reading on it, but I believe the Clara works just as well, just has less features. Both are great options to buy if you're looking for a new e-reader with the color feature on it. I have always been a Kobo user since when it comes to e-readers. I've never even owned a Kindle or any other types of e-readers, only because I was gifted I believe it was a Kobo Mini in like 2013 or something like that, and I read quite a bit on it. I really liked using it. Yeah, and then after that, I just liked the ecosystem. I was already in the ecosystem and I enjoyed reading on it. I decided when this came out that I would like to try it out. So you can see it's got the buttons on the side there, and I've got a screensaver. So yeah, this is my second Kobo, my second e-reader that I have owned. I'm liking the color feature on it, and Kobo is a really Canadian-friendly e-reader. It's more so than the Kindle. There's a couple reasons for that, although I know tons of Canadians also use a Kindle and are perfectly happy, so I feel like both are good options, but I'll dive into all the reasons why I like the Kobo as well. So you can have, whoop, let's focus. You can have, whoop, the Libby app right here on your Kobo, the Overdrive app. So if you do library borrowing, the Kobo is really friendly for that. You can read all your library e-reading and audio listening right on here. And I will show you guys this more up close when we go through the interface. I do a ton of library reading. I do most of my books borrowed through the library, most of my reading, and so that was important to me because I do read ebooks and listen to audiobooks on my phone through Libby all the time, and I know with Kindle you can't have Overdrive in Canada on the Kindle, so that automatically kind of made it a no for me because I mean, yeah, I do purchase books as well, but I'll borrow where I can. So I definitely like having that right on here. I don't have to split my e-reading between the two devices, which is really nice. I also believe with the Kindle, just for comparison's sake, for Canadians, I believe you can't you don't have access to audiobooks as a Canadian on Kindle devices, I believe. I could be wrong, but there's something with audiobooks that doesn't work well for Canadians, whereas for Americans, they can listen to audiobooks on the Kindle no problem. So if I'm wrong with those details, correct me in the comments below, but I thought that's what was going on with that. So this is a 7-inch e-reader which is the same size as one of the Kindle devices, and it has 32 gigabytes of storage. It's fully waterproof, and they say you can fit about 24,000 ebooks on here or about 150 audiobooks. It boasts weeks of battery life, so like I said, I've had it since July, and for the most part, I read for like hours a day on it. And I've only had to charge it once since July. Today is September the 12th. So I don't have a problem with the battery life. I have heard that the newest Kindle devices do have a bit better of a battery life. So, but I mean, this is nothing to complain about. It's plenty. I have no issues with it. This device comes at about $250 Canadian. And then this device also does pair with a stylus. There is a official Kobo stylus that you can buy on the Kobo website or wherever you can buy the Kobo, and it runs for about $80. And I know a few people decided to just go right with the official stylus. Don't risk anything, just go with what works, and that's totally fine. I did go with the Microsoft Surface stylus instead. I bought it on Amazon. It's about $30 or $40, so it's like half the price of the Kobo one, and it works great. I'll show you in a little bit here how it works with the Kobo. It's got like the power button, erase button, everything. It has very little lag. It doesn't scratch my screen. I know some people have had some concerns about some of those things, which is understandable when you are buying, you know, like a third party or like a non-trusted stylus or device to pair with your Kobo. My dog is throwing around his bone. Yeah, so I'm happy with this. And then I also purchased just a $10 plastic cover off Amazon for it as well. That's made specifically for the Kobo Libra Colour. I see this all the time with people who have this devices. If you scroll through YouTube, you'll see other creators who have this exact cover. And lots of people are decorating it, which is really fun, and personalizing it. So putting stickers and pop socket on the back. Right now, I kind of just want to leave it plain. I am going to show you guys some stickers I have for it that I thought about putting on. So we'll do that in this video as well. But I kind of like it just simple at the moment until I get bored of it, and then maybe I will customize it some more. And then the stylus does magnetically attach as well, which is pretty fun. Now, when it comes to cases, I know you can also purchase Kobo official sleep covers and cases. I think a sleep cover comes to about $40 or something like that, $39.99 Canadian, something along those lines. And then of course it just puts your Kobo to sleep when you close the cover, so kind of like the same thing as an iPad sleep cover. I wasn't really looking for that. The sleep covers for me, when I'm using a device a lot, kind of wear out really quickly, I find, and look raggedy. And for an iPad, I think it's really good to have one. It helps protect it, helps it prop your device up when you want to watch a video or something. For my Kobo, I didn't really need that, and I've already seen videos of people talking about how the sleep cover doesn't hold its quality for as long. But there's really nice colors you can choose from, so if you think you might enjoy that, go take a look at the places you can buy Kobo stuff from. Now, I also just want to pop in here and say really quickly before I keep going that making this video has taken me a series of different days and plugging different footage in and things like that. So you're gonna see some clips and some talking points and stuff where I'm dressed differently, the lighting is gonna be better, things like that, just because it took me a few days. So hopefully that's not too jarring. I'm gonna chat a little bit more about this now. So as I mentioned, this is the first official Kobo Colour e-reader. They're boasting it as the first color e-reader. I believe there's another one out there that's like a very unknown brand, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm sure Kindle will come out with their color e-readers very shortly. I've heard they're already working on them, if that's something you're interested in. I did mention this is $250 Canadian, and it's, what do you call it, twin the Kobo Clara. Retails for about $150 Canadian, and that one is more basic. It doesn't have the buttons on the side here, smaller screen, it's a smaller device, and it doesn't allow you to annotate and things like that. You can highlight on it just like other Kobo e-readers, but my dog is being so funny. Doesn't allow for annotating, which is perfectly fine. I'm honestly not a big annotator. I do it a little bit. The notebook app that I'm going to show you on here is really cool. But I do mostly just read. I'll annotate a little bit. I do highlight a lot. I honestly, the Kobo Clara would have been totally fine for me. It's just that if I was already spending the money, this one has more features, and I thought I probably won't get another Kobo for quite a while, so I'll just go with the little bit higher end device. but I feel like as long as annotating isn't a huge important point for you, then you would be totally fine with the Clara as well, and I've heard really good things about that device. So like I said, you can doodle with this app. There's a whole notebook app on it that you can take notes on, highlight, lots of different fonts and colors you can use for both highlighting and annotating and note-taking. So it's really fun. It would work well just for hobbies, for having reading trackers and reading journals. There's tons of templates you can find online, or you can even make your own as well. I'm going to show you which ones I have right now. And it's great for students too if you wanted to take notes on your classes, or if you had a textbook on here. It would work great for all of that. So on my Kobo, I've been reading the Last Kingdom series. I am on book 4 right now. I've read the entire series on here, and I have been using the reading reviews template to track the books that I've read. So I will link in the description where I got this template from. It was really easy to import onto my Kobo. I just purchased the template from Etsy. So far, I just have the first 3 Last Kingdom books on here. And then I just scribbled my own star rating on here. You can also just use the stars on the template that she provides. So soon I will be updating it with more. I decided to just use the reading tracker to track only Kobo books I've read on my Kobo, so not physical books for the time being, otherwise it'll fill up really quickly. So the first page is just the covers of the book there on the reading tracker. The second page is book reviews. So I reviewed the first book, The Last Kingdom, by Bernard Cornwell. So you can see the genre is historical fiction. Don't mind my really messy writing, I promise. It's easy to write on here, especially if you can see it was like awkward for me to hold the Kobo up and write, and it was like messy, but once I put the Kobo down on the table and start writing with the stylus, it comes really easily, smoothly, doesn't lag very much, and it was quite simple. I can erase by holding down the button and scribbling over the text. And the fancier pen styles make the text lag a little bit more, but it's not too crazy. Like I said, I only reviewed the first book in this series right now, and I love this series, so of course I gave the first book 5 stars and marked it as best book I've ever read out of all the options I had there. And then I just did a little blurb. It follows Richard of Bebbanburg as he navigates his father's death as a Saxon raised as a Dane during the Viking Age in England. I gave it 5 stars and wrote down my favorite moments and my favorite quote in the book. Sorry, this has some spoilers in it. Hopefully you don't care too much, but also this series has been out for quite a while. And the spoilers happen fairly quickly, so I'll try not to spoil more of it in case you care. And then you can also see that I've got some screensavers. They are called The Enchanted Library from an artist on Etsy as well, and they give me like Ravenclaw vibes or Hogwarts Library vibes, like Ravenclaw Common Room, so I really liked them. There's a series of 10 of them, and when my Kobo is asleep, it just rotates through them all between when I turn it off and turn it on and put it back to sleep. So I will link this down below too. All of these are like seriously so affordable, and you can put on as many as you want. You don't have to do just like one set of wallpapers. You can add as many as you want. Super easy to import as well. And when you purchase, there's instructions for both the reading trackers and the screensavers. So yeah, the notebook feature is so cool. You can keep all your writing thoughts and ponderings there. I still have more to learn and practice with, but there's also tons of fun templates on Etsy to use to track reading and write reviews, or you could totally make your own and port them over as well. It's super easy to do, and the text conversion in the Notebooks app is fun. I do wish the templates you import went to the Notebook app rather than the book page. So when you buy a template and you import it, it goes to my books instead of my notebooks, but I don't really know another way around that. It's no big deal though, it's really easy to find. But yeah, I'll continue to add titles onto my reading trackers as I read them on the Kobo. You'll see here I have like 5 stars for each book, and I'm generally more of a positive reader anyway who likes to rate books. I read higher, but honestly that's because I'm fussy and I know what I like. I don't venture out of my genres too often. Sometimes I do and I enjoy it, and a lot of times I do and I don't enjoy it. So once in a while I'll give something a low rating, but like if you look at my Goodreads, my average reviews are like 4 stars. But I don't feel bad about it. That just means I read what I like and I'm satisfied with what I read. Anyway, so I like the different colors I can use to write and the different thickness of the pen. yeah, the colors are really pretty to choose from, and I believe these are the same colors you can use to highlight on your books as well. And yeah, I just want to practice adding more templates to have more reading log activities and learn to get better on decorating here. I also have a fun summer reading challenge template that I can mark up as I like, and I'd like to find more for other seasons, so like summer, autumn, spring, winter, spring. So yeah, you could have a full-on reading log on here if you wanted to, and you could have like your reading bingos and your reading challenges. You could have templates for those, or you could just write up your own. There's a ton you can do to spruce up your reading tracking and your reading journaling. So if you like to keep a reading journal, or you like to decorate reading logs, or you bullet journal, then you would definitely really enjoy this. Especially with like how little the pen legs and stuff and the cute colors. You can also import equations and drawings, and you could use this as a doodle machine and doodle parts from your book. Write down your favorite quotes and like decorate the quote and stuff like that. Like I said earlier, also super handy for students for study notes. Don't mind my ugly tree and awkward sentences. I'm just trying to show you a few different features on here. I love the way the red color and the green color show up, and the ease to write and draw with the stylus. I'm not sure how my Microsoft Surface stylus would compare to the Kobo stylus, but I have zero complaints. And like, I mean, I paid $40 for this bad boy on Amazon to avoid paying $80 for the stylus on top of already purchasing the e-reader, so maybe I was a little cheap, but I like this pen. And sometimes it's okay to take little risks if it saves you some money, I think. Just depends what you like. Okay, so now I thought we would do a general interface tour. This isn't going to be super aesthetic, but we will go through it really quickly. Just because I want to show you guys like kind of what the general interface looks like. I've got a dog hair right there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is my home page. So you can see what I'm currently reading. This here is just the reading tracker that I mentioned before. Just the reading tracker. My books in my collection, and Robin Hobb, I guess because I was looking up some of her books to add to my wish list. So, and then you can see at the bottom here, borrow ebooks from your public library and view your public library holds with the overdrive. So you click that, it takes you right to your holds, which is overdrive or the Libby app, whatever you want to call it, same thing. So here's my holds, and they just say available soon. So we'll go back. Borrow ebooks from your public library just takes you straight to the Overdrive app, which is right on the Kobo, which is fantastic. So again, my holds, and then it's clearly got a genre that's recommended for me, so books in the magical realism genre. And then they've got books that the library has just added to their ebook collection. You could click on that. Yeah, there you go. You could take a scroll. So it's available to borrow. You just borrow now. It's pretty cool. Go back to home. Okay, so yeah, that's my home page. So up here is where I can search. Sorry, let me go back. I was cut out there. So I can search here. Sorry if there's birds. I have the doors and windows open because it's a beautiful autumn day and the birds are just going ham. So yep, this is some things I've searched recently. So you can search the Overdrive app. You can search right there, and that just gives you only the library collection. You can search the Kobo store, my own books, current read, annotations, dictionaries. So that's cool. I haven't used searching through the annotations tab yet. That would be cool. Or the dictionary. I typically just use either search in Kobo store or Overdrive. My collection on here is not that big yet, so I feel like I don't need to search. Notifications? I feel like I never have notifications, so I'm not sure if that's like Kobo store notifications. You can see my battery is getting low there, Wi-Fi, and then you've got the brightness right there on your homepage too if you wanted to mess with it there. So then this I like, so you can adjust your brightness. You can make it to the natural light, so the sleep light, which is just like really yellow light. And then you can set right there what your bedtime is. And then your Kobo will automatically turn to very yellow light at that time. So if you're reading, then it goes straight to that yellow light. So that's super handy. I think I will make mine a little bit earlier. 10 p.m. probably. I'm usually ready to start sleeping around then. Yeah, anyway, I guess I should speed this up because I don't want you guys to be watching my interface tour for a long time. I mean, before I bought the Kobo, I was looking at interface tours, but I feel like, I don't know, I just don't want to be focusing on that for too long. So we'll kind of fly through now. So then my books tab right here. So this includes both the library books I'm reading and the books I own from the Kobo store. And you just scroll through. Then you can go to authors that you've got. I have so much dog hair on my Kobo. Yep, that's about it. So then when you want to access a book, you literally just click on it. Then you can go back. Okay, notebooks. So, yep. That's where you can write with your stylus, make notes, doodle, all that stuff I've done. Discover. And then, so this page will show you overdrives, the library books, the Kobo Plus subscription, which I do not have at the moment. So all those are there. If you've got any audiobooks, which I don't, but you can purchase some right here. And then just ebooks right there on, this is the Kobo store right here. So they've got a daily deal here. And then your wish list is right here. Books recommended for you there. Yeah, this is my wish list. And then you can just buy it there. If it's available through Kobo Plus, it'll say it right below. And then you've got your search bar. You can search whatever you're looking for. And this is the More tab, so you can go right to your wish list. If you've imported anything, Dropbox and Google Drive, articles activity. So it'll say how much you've read in the last bit, which is actually really cool. Yeah. So this, I believe, is like my current book I'm reading. And right here is like all of my books. So that's pretty cool. Bit of settings. So these are the kinds of settings you've got. Your account, your overdrive, which is your library app, time, Wi-Fi, all of that. I don't think I'll go through each of these because you might get really bored. I'll show you reading settings here. So you can decide what you want at the header of when you're reading a book. So I have it on the percentage of the chapter I'm on read. You can do it to pages or time. And then your footer, I have it on percent of book read. You can have it pages left in book, time remaining in book, so same thing. And then you can even turn the progress bar off at the bottom. There's a line at the bottom of your book that shows your progress. Yep, I enjoy that. More settings here. And then you can pinch to adjust the font size. You swipe the edge for brightness, all of that. And then about Kobo Libra Colour, you can get all your specs and whatever there. Yeah, so that is the general interface. So we can go into a book. And I can just show you guys here. So text size, there you go, that's massive. That's closer to what I had it before. Brightness, you just go like that. I feel like you can see through the camera. I keep it not super bright, like kind of in the middle, and then at nighttime I put it quite low because I don't like the bright light on my eyes in the dark. And then when you're on your page, you can also go right here. Oops. For your preferences, your font size and everything right here too. You can adjust your margins this way if you want, and the justification, you can change all of that. Your fonts. Yep, all right there, right on the page of the book. So there's some quick little things you can do to quickly adjust your text and your brightness, and then you can also just go right up to your settings there. There's like the turn off the auto rotate, what color you want your highlighting to be in. So I have mine in green. Whoops. So to highlight, just hold. There you go. I had it on yellow. So then if you wanted to scribble on your page, you just turn on your stylus. You can see I've been annotating a little bit, just practicing. You can just write literally on it. Depending on the stylus you get, the Microsoft one I have, you just literally start writing on it. Once in a while, it won't automatically go, and then I just have to plug it in, and then it's good to go. It's supposed to have 60 hours of battery life, so, and then it turns off automatically after 10 minutes of not using it. Then at the bottom of your page, you can, so that's the page I'm on. You can click here and change chapters. You can go right to the map. Okay. And then when you switch chapters or switch on your table of contents like that, then you can go right back to the page you were on. So now I just really want to quickly show you guys a graphic novel. So this is what the color looks like. Sorry for the pitter patter. You can see my dog is running around and they're growling and barking at the people outside. So yeah, it's e-ink technology, so it's not vibrant like a tablet, but it's probably easier on your eyes than a tablet. So turning the pages. Let's turn up the brightness a little bit so you can see kind of what it looks like. So because it's an e-ink technology too, where there's lots of color, it can be a little bit splotchy. But I did hear somebody say that like they weren't really marketing. Sorry, you can hear my dog walking around on the hardwood. There he is. They were saying they weren't really marketing this e-reader for graphic novels necessarily. So, but I think that they look really good. I don't mind the more subdued colors. And I mean, you can always turn up your brightness too. Sorry, I had it pretty low. I think it's comfortable, right? And you can always zoom in. Just takes it, it's a little bit slower on the zoom in when there's lots of color on the page than it is regular text. But it just takes a second. Yeah. Okay, so now I just want to, sorry, you can tell the weather and everything is a little bit different than last time I was chatting to you face to face. It's a much sunnier day today. I just want to talk now about my major likes, and then after we're done quickly going through that, I'll go through my major dislikes. I don't have any like very strong dislikes, but there's a couple things that I do want to mention anyway that like aren't my favorite. So with likes, so my favorite things I have to say are the ease of adjusting the brightness and the ease of adjusting the font size and the font. So those are the first ones I want to talk about. So when you're adjusting brightness on this, all you have to do is swipe up. Oh my gosh. All you have to do is swipe up and you can see it saying here brightness, and then swipe down to make it darker. I don't find I have to fiddle with it too much. And I actually don't know this for sure, but it seems like it adjusts to more of a yellow light when it's dark, really dark in my atmosphere, which is very nice. And it seems to kind of like adjust to what the brightness is around me. I don't know what the tech is about that, but it's really nice. So I don't find myself often messing around with the brightness, but it's super easy to do, as you saw. Hopefully that showed up okay on the camera. Font size, you just drag that. Here for font size. And then line spacing, which is another huge one. At least for me, I love when my lines are a bit spaced out. Put a little bit back. And then margins. You can change the margins as you see fit. You can change the justification and everything. You can turn off the rotate, auto rotate. You can change, I have mine on dark mode. You can change the background is light mode, so the background's white and the letters are black. So other favorite features for me, I'm going to go back to the home screen on here, is I love the Libby app being right on here. That's one of the biggest reasons I bought another Kobo, because I read a lot and listen to a lot of audio on the Libby app through the library, so that was huge for me. And I also like the ease of using the Kobo store. It's super easy to use. And I find with series on the Kobo store, there's a lot of bundles. So for example, I mentioned I'm reading the Last Kingdom series. I bought books 1 to 3 right on the Kobo store for like $20. And then I bought books 4 to 6 right on the Kobo store, like the whole bundle for $20. It's a really good deal. And I find that is for a lot of series. So if you can't get them on the Libby store, or if they're not on Kobo Plus and you're a Kobo Plus user, you can find bundles and save a lot of money and read for really cheap. So even if you don't use the library, and even if you are not impressed with Kobo Plus, you can still read for like really affordably on the Kobo, which is cheaper than always buying like print books. And I don't know if you could find those deals without the Kobo store, like deals like that. Probably on Kindle and other e-reader stores you could, but yeah. Now this Kobo is also waterproof, so if you like go to the Kobo Instagram page, you'll see them showing you how you can like completely submerge it in water, so it's completely safe to read in the bathtub or on the beach, which is really nice. And I love the size of it. I mentioned the exact size earlier in this video. It fits perfectly into my backpack. And I always have it in my case just to protect it. And so this makes it a bit bigger, obviously, but adds some protection. And it fits in my purse, like my medium-sized purse as well. If you have a really small purse or sling, it might not fit. It depends on the size. But yeah, it's very light, so you'd hardly notice it's in there. If you went with the Kobo Clara, I've heard that that one can actually fit in a pocket. Like, obviously not women's pants pockets, but like men's pants pockets, or for jeans I'm talking about, or other types of pants with decent pockets. The Kobo Clara, which is the other color version of this, is smaller because it doesn't have this sidebar here. It would fit in a pocket. And then I love the buttons on the side for turning pages. As soon as I discovered that's what that was, I couldn't go back. So you press the bottom one to go to the next page, the top one to go backwards. It's so easy. You can also touch the screen, but like for some reason the buttons are just so nice because you'll be laying in bed and you're just pressing the button to go forward. It's so nice. Okay, so lastly for likes, sorry, I know the light is so weird. It's so bright outside, the light keeps adjusting. I find a lot of print books really annoying to read. I find they often strain my eyes because the text is either too small or too jammed together, or the page color is annoying. Like, there's a bunch of different things. And I find on the Kobo it's nice because you can make it a really custom reading experience for whatever is comfortable for you. So if you have a print disability, or if you have poor eyesight, or even if you just, you know, find your eyes are strained reading, it's really nice because, as I showed you, you can make it whatever font you want. And there's like a dyslexic friendly font. There's a bunch of fonts that are more friendly to eyes that are more sensitive, I guess. Margins you can change. You can space the words out and the lines out so they're not so close together. Like I said earlier, I like a really simple font, or like a dyslexic friendly font, just because I find it so much easier on the eyes. I do wish that more seniors would read this way, especially because you can like make it such a yellow, non-blue light reading experience, like on a screen. For example, the Kobo is also very light. It's not heavy like a iPad for e-reading. Now, I know a lot of seniors just don't like tech. They're not comfortable with it. They just want to pick up a book. It's simple. There's nothing they have to figure out about that, right? And I totally get that. But I also know that a lot of seniors need large print books, or else books are too heavy for their wrists. And so I just wish that they would pick up a Kobo or even a Kindle and just see like how much more comfortable the reading experience could be once they get past that learning curve for them. You know, like, it's so light to hold, and you can hold it this way too. The text flips around. You can hold it this way too. You can make the text as big as you want. There's so many reasons why I think they're so fantastic for people with print disabilities, or for seniors who are having a hard time finding an actual book they can read, because that limits a lot of what they can read, because not everything is on large print. Large print is a lot more expensive, and a lot of books are just so heavy because they make them so fancy with some of those hardcover books with like that heavy paper. So I think the Kobo is really good for those reasons, and for then it expands what you can read. You're not so limited due to the physical nature of a book. And then lastly, I just like that it's so portable. So it's great for traveling. You don't have to pack a whole bunch of books with you when you go on vacation. You can have 20 books on here and it's the same, doesn't take up any more space than if you took one book, or like it's even less space than one book. It's also fantastic for small space living like me, because then you're not buying 30 books and taking up a whole bunch of space, or borrowing that many library books as well. Sorry, I didn't mention, you might hear a squeaking noise and stuff. This is Boog. He's my little wiener dog, so he always sits with me on the couch. And I'm so used to the noise of him chewing his toys that I realize the mic is probably picking up the squishing noise. That's all that is. Yeah, you can read like thousands of books and it doesn't take up any more space in your house, so that's another good reason. So here are the decoration items I was thinking about using to decorate the back of my Kobo. Like on the plastic shell here. I kind of like it just plain, but I love mushrooms and stuff, so I thought I would at least put on a little charm and a pop socket for comfort. And I've got lots of really cool stickers. I've got like these library stickers, Sarah Scribbles. And I know it seems like everybody on the internet is like sticker bombing their Kobo. So I'm not certain yet how I want to do this. And I've got my case from Amazon right here, cords, and then I just set my Kobo in there. This is actually a Kindle case, but that's okay. So now I kind of just want to put this together and see how I should decorate my Kobo. I was thinking I might just put on the charm and the pop socket for now, and then maybe like this one mushroom sticker. But the bookish stickers are so like perfect for this. Now, in case you're wondering, this is where you will plug your Kobo in to charge it, or to plug into your laptop or computer if you're importing anything. And back here, this is your power button there, so you just click it once to turn it on or off. Yeah. All right, and for the last little bit of this video, here's Mr. Boog taking a nap, my mini dachshund. It is time for his afternoon nappy. I took the mushroom sticker off. I'm gonna save it for something else, but I just realized the mushroom is not centered. Look at that, it's an awkward spot, but it's still comfy to hold. Ugh, I wish I had paid more attention to that. I guess I could just pull it off and put it more in the center here, like move it over a little bit. So now for this last little part, I just want to chat about any dislikes that I have with the Kobo Libra Colour. There aren't many, and they are quite small little things that aren't like a game changer. So the first two dislikes I want to mention are on, let me find it here, are on the Libby app or Overdrive, whatever you want to call it. So my two main issues, it runs great. Overdrive runs great on the Kobo. It's just that, and you might have seen memes about this on like Bookstagram or Book Talk. I can't pause my holds on the Libby app on here. It is missing some of those functions, so it's really just like you can borrow items, place items on hold, and read them. That's it. You don't get like the cool little Libby things that you get like on your phone app or on your iPad or whatever, on the mobile app, I guess I should say. And I pause my holds a lot because I don't know, I guess I'm always reading like a long series or something, and there's books I want to read on the Libby app, but I'm not ready for them yet. Like the 4 that I have on hold right now that I've had on hold for like quite a while, and I've probably paused them like 30 times each, I'm not even kidding, is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, and The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I've paused them all a million times, and the thing is, I really want to read The Spell Shop and Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies while it's fall, but I think I've got quite a ways left in the Last Kingdom series. I'm only about halfway through the series right now, so I really don't want to break either. I like to just read a series. I don't like to take breaks in the series. I feel like it just totally messes up my system. I will read graphic novels in between. I always usually have a graphic novel on the go. Anyway, I'm really off topic. I can't pause holds on here. So what that means is when a hold becomes available for me on Overdrive or the Libby app, and I'm not ready, you can press pause hold and you can select a certain amount of weeks. So I usually do like 2 weeks or a month or whatever. I think you can do up to 180 days. So what that means is I still have to use my phone. Whoops, I was just going to show you guys. I still have to use Libby on my phone even though I don't read. Oh my gosh, my brightness is so dark. So even though I don't like read on this app anymore now that I have my Kobo, I still need to use it. Which I would keep it on my phone anyways in case I wanted to read when I was waiting for an appointment and I didn't bring my Kobo or something. But yeah, like this app has so many little features on it. Like you got like a timeline and you know, your holds. So this is what I mean. So it says like on the Morisaki Bookshop, manage hold, and then I've got it set to delivering later, October 2nd. Cancel hold. I think you might be able to cancel holds on the Kobo app, but there's so many little features on the Libby app on the mobile device and the Overdrive app on the Kobo, which I guess I say Libby. It's not the Libby app on the Kobo devices. It's Overdrive. Overdrive runs Libby, but Libby is the mobile app. So I guess they're 2 completely different things. So I really shouldn't be like comparing. So I guess what I'm looking for or hoping for in the future is that there would be an actual Libby app on the Kobo, not just Overdrive. I mean, it has all the same books, ebooks and audiobooks. It's just that it's just straight Overdrive. You can search your book, place it on hold, check out your book. That's it. You can't like pause holds or any of the little knickknacks that, or the little fun little features that the Libby app has. Secondly, I haven't been able to figure out a way to read magazines on the Overdrive app on my Kobo either. I don't think I can. I know that there's magazines on the Kobo store, so I can purchase magazines as far as I understand, but I can't borrow library magazines on my Kobo, which is really disappointing. It really is, because I was excited to read, because I have some magazines on the Libby app that I'm like auto subscribed to. I guess I'm subscribed to them really, because every time there's a newest issue, it goes automatically, checks out to my library account and I can just read it. And so I was really excited to have a Kobo Color, because then I could read my new magazines on there in color, and I thought it would be awesome. And especially because like I don't really want to read on my phone anymore. There's so many distractions. I don't like looking at these screens constantly. If I can take a break, I prefer to do that. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my magazine list so I can show you guys quick. Okay, so here's my so the Libby app has an actual magazine rack, and I can have all of the magazines I'm subscribed to. The newest issues go automatically onto my magazine rack, ready to go, and then I get them for the checkout time. So I've got 7 days left for the first 2. So I've got Simply Knitting, the Archaeology magazine, I have the New Yorker, although I don't actually read it. I just was looking at it for fun. More knitting. I love All About History and National Geographic History. So, and those would be amazing on the Kobo Colour because it would be a great experience. So I'm really hoping, they keep tweaking the overdrive system on the Kobo so I can read magazines, unless I'm mistaken and I haven't been able to figure it out, but it doesn't appear that I can read magazines on it. I actually, if I have to keep using the Libby app, that's okay. I like the Libby app. I just don't want to be reading on my phone. But I'm fine to have to go on my phone and pause holds and things like that, but I would love the ability to read magazines on my Kobo through overdrive specifically. So if I'm mistaken and you know the answer to this, and if you've read magazines with the overdrive app on your Kobo, let me know in the comments, because maybe I just missed that. I don't know. Okay, so the next couple things that I'm almost done here, it's just some more small things. So I mentioned earlier Kobo Plus. So this is the equivalent of Kindle Unlimited. I did subscribe to Kobo Plus, but I just didn't find anything really that I had. I think I found like one thing that I had on my TBR that I was actually looking for to read. They've got, don't get me wrong, they have tons of titles on here, but a lot of them are really obscure. So if you were, it's cheap, it's like 10 bucks a month. Or maybe it's $8 a month. Somewhere around there. Canadian. If you're just looking for something to read, nothing specific, there's tons of choices from so many different genres, but there's not a lot of like really well-known authors and things like that. I read a lot of historical fiction, like kind of more gritty historical fiction and fantasy. And I like to read history nonfiction for the most part. I mean, I venture out of those pretty often. I also like Japanese literature a lot. Anyway, but yeah, I couldn't find anything really that I was looking for specifically, so it wasn't super worth the price for me. I would rather just pay a couple dollars on the regular Kobo store for what I'm actually looking for. Between that and Libby, I'm pretty well covered. I might subscribe again in the future, because I have no issue with trying out lesser known authors at all. It's just that my TBR is so big right now that I just didn't really want to be paying extra money for a service I wouldn't really be using. If it had more of the titles I was looking for specifically on there, it would be totally worth the price. Now, I've heard that Kindle Unlimited is quite amazing for having a really good selection. So again, if you're looking for reading subscriptions, then if you wanted all your bases covered, you'd probably still want Kindle Unlimited. But I mean, I personally don't feel like I need it. Between the Kobo store and Libby and everything, I'm pretty well covered. But yeah, I hope in the future that they improve the Kobo Plus subscription, get more stuff onto it. Yeah, not a major problem. It's not expensive. I'm just not going to pay for it until I'm like more looking for something new to read. You know what I mean? If you're looking for something to read, it's fine. It's just if you're wanting your specific titles on your TBR, you might not have much luck. But I know also, if you don't love other e-readers, or you find them irritating, or they're always in your face about buying stuff, whatever, you can import EPUBs onto the Kobo through your computer. So you can buy ebooks on other platforms, have them on your laptop, and then import them onto your Kobo. I applaud Kobo for being really, accommodating to books from outside of their platform or their ecosystem. They're really good for that. So I feel like that's a plus. So last thing, again, is not a huge deal. And it's not super common, but I have found that there are some titles not available on the Kobo store altogether. Like there was a new YA title actually, and I don't read a lot of YA, but there was one that I thought looked good, and I couldn't find it on the Kobo store even though it had been released for like 5 months. So I find like 99% of the titles I'm looking for are on the Kobo store. If they're not, I can always check overdrive as well. I guess what I'm just saying is it's not even a huge problem for me at all, but if you were looking to do 100% of your reading on e-readers, let's say it's an accessibility issue for you, you've got a print disability, your hands can't hold a physical book, whatever the case may be, if you were not reading any print books and all of your reading was going to be on an e-reader, then I would maybe suggest having Kobo and then trying Kindle or another e-reader as well, just to have all your bases covered just in case. Like I said, 99% of the stuff I'm looking for is on the Kobo store. It's really not an issue. It's just every now and then there might be something you can't find on there. And if you're like me and you're reading with an e-reader and you're reading print books, it's a non-issue. It's just if you, for whatever reason, whether it's accessibility issue or preference issue, whatever it is, needed to do all your reading on an e-reader, then you might want to consider maybe just having all your bases covered with more than one e-reader. I don't want to promote I don't want to promote Kindle because they're really not super nice to Canadians. I wouldn't want to buy one just mostly because of that. Not that I think that there's anything wrong with their actual systems. But if you're a heavy reader and you only read on an e-reader, just to make sure you have access to everything you could possibly be looking for, it's not a bad idea to have, you know, e-readers from different companies. Maybe not even Kindle, maybe another one. I don't know what other ones there are out there right now, but yeah. But like I said, if you wanted to just have one e-reader and you wanted to stick with the Kobo, you can import EPUBs. So even if you subscribed to another ecosystem for ebooks, or you purchased an ebook through Amazon or something, you can import EPUBs onto your Kobo as well. So you can have anything you could possibly want on the Kobo. It's just that once in a while you might have to take an extra step to get something you're looking for on here. Probably not, but maybe every now and then. I kind of just want to chat about what I'm planning to read on it, how I plan to use the Kobo, all of that. We're getting close to being done with this video, and I hope I have been kind of giving you some insight into the Kobo Libra Colour if you're looking into purchasing it. So I have been using it a ton for about 2 months. I've been doing pretty much all of my reading on it except for a couple graphic novels that I own physically or have borrowed physically. I've been reading, like I said, the Last Kingdom series by Bernard Cornwell. I've got a bunch of books on my wish list. I've got some stuff checked out from Overdrive through the library. I'm planning on reading manga and graphic novels on it as well. Some people had issue with the e-ink technology for graphic novels, and sure, your regular iPad or tablet will be sharper colors, more vibrant, especially if you are a superhero comics reader or whatever, a comics reader, maybe you stick to that. But the e-readers are so light to hold, and the colors are more subdued. So that's also kinder to your eyes, I think. To me, it does seem that way. I have light sensitivity, so I really don't mind more calm looking colors, and I don't want to be on my tablet to read. I don't want all the notifications coming at me or the temptation to go check an app or whatever. So yeah, I'm planning to read pretty much everything on here. If there's something I can't find, I will, oops, I just clicked on a graphic novel. If there's something I can't find, I will import it, or I will get it physically too. I find this really nice. Once you get so used to like having basically custom text, like making the font whatever you want, making the color of the page whatever you want, like black or white, I mean. The size of the font and the margins, everything, it's really hard to go to print books where you kind of have to, you know, adapt to whatever that font is, and I find some fonts hard to read and uncomfortable to read. And so yeah, that's my plan for my Kobo. At this time, I'm not planning on purchasing any other e-reader. I have owned Kobos before, and I've always really liked them. So how does the Kobo Libra Colour fit into my life? So I have a very small house. It's just a small 2-bedroom house. I don't have a ton of space for physical books. I have room to fit in a couple more skinny bookshelves. If you haven't seen my bookshelves, I've got some new ones. I can plug the video in of me setting them up in the description below, so you can watch if you want. But like, I can't buy every single book that I'm looking to read on my TBR. I just don't have the space for it. I've always been a heavy library user as well. I typically only buy books if they're really special to me, if there's a new collector's edition coming out or an illustrated edition, or if it's an author that I love and they have something new, I'll buy it. But I very rarely just pick up a book and buy it unless it sounds really, really special. Also like the buying ebooks because they're a lot cheaper than print books. If you don't know if you're gonna like it or not, then you're not spending, you know, like $35 on a print book. You're spending, you know, maybe 10 or 15. I've been buying bundles of 3 of the Last Kingdom books on here for 20 bucks. So, also I typically will cycle to work or walk to work most of the time. And so this is really light to throw in its case that I got. I just throw it in the case, put it in my backpack, and take it to work so I can read on my breaks. So it's a lot lighter to pack than physical books. Same exact thing for traveling, going on trips. You can have a bunch of books on here without having to pack a bunch of physical books. And then lastly, it just fits into my life very well because of light sensitivity. You know, I can adjust the brightness however I want. I can have it on dark yellow light so the screen isn't hurting my eyes. I can read in bed without having to worry about having a lamp on, having some nice light rather than the intense phone lights. So lastly, have you used a Kobo before? Even a Kobo not like besides the Kobo Libra Colour? If so, let me know in the comments what your experience has been with it. If you liked it, disliked it, what e-reader do you use and prefer? At the end of the day, I really recommend this device and I really love it. I'm really happy I purchased it. I've been happy with every Kobo I have had and really recommend those devices. Especially if you're in Canada, just because you can't use Overdrive on Kindle in Canada, and I believe you can't listen to audiobooks. Audiobooks with the audiobooks on the Kindle is difficult for Canadians. I don't remember exactly what it is, but look into that before you buy a Kindle if you're in Canada, if audiobooks are important to you. This you can download, purchase, borrow from Overdrive audiobooks, listen to them right on here. It's got Bluetooth technology. You can have earbuds in and go ahead and listen to your audiobooks right off of your Kobo, which is fantastic. And then all the other amazing things I said about it earlier in this video. Honestly, I really just use it for basic reading. I don't use the notebooks very much. I use it for comic books and for regular print books. I don't do a ton of annotating, but I do like to highlight. I like the reading tracker. It's really fun to be able to import different tracker templates and use them to track your reading. So if you're into all of that, if you like bullet journaling, if you like annotating, if you like a very aesthetic and personalized experience, then yes, get the Kobo Libra Colour 2 over the Kobo Clara, which, as I mentioned earlier, is the smaller e-reader. It's also a color e-reader, also has color, but it's just more for your basic reading experience, not for annotating. You can still highlight on it. And I could have been perfectly happy with that device as well. Honestly, I don't need the annotating. It is nice to have the option, and then you don't have to annotate your print books, because I don't do that. I know a lot of people don't like to do it. Yeah, so, and it's also easy to erase, obviously, if you made a mistake in your annotations. But the last thing I'm going to say about between the Clara and the Libra Colour is that if you're already spending the money on a Kobo Clara Colour, you may as well go for this, which has a lot more features than the Clara because there's not a huge price difference between them. Look into that first, but unless it's like a size thing, the Kobo Clara is smaller. It doesn't have this bar here with the buttons. It's just the screen. So it'll fit in your pocket or whatever. So if that's important to you, then go with that. Otherwise, I'd recommend purchasing this if you're getting one of the new Kobo Colour devices, because this does have a lot more features on it. So yeah, that is about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I've been loving this device. I'm excited to see what else Kobo does in the future. I will continue to purchase Kobo e-reader devices. I do hope that the Overdrive app continues to improve. I hope that it becomes I hope they basically put a Libby app on the Kobo. I don't know if that'll ever happen. But I really recommend it. It's worth the money. It's fantastic. And again, thanks for watching, guys. Me and Mr. Boog here wish you guys a fantastic day and happy reading. Bye.